Okay, so over here, the first name is called the coterminal angle, right? The word terminal is referring to terminal arm, right? Co means they share, okay? Like cooperate, right? Together. So this word is share. Okay, so share the same terminal arm, then those angles are called coterminal angles, right? So for example, here we have two angles, right? The one beta, right? That's called the beginning one. So maybe this one is, it looks like a 60-degree, right? Okay, and then the alpha is the after, right? So it turns more, right? After 60-degree, it continues to turn another full circle, right? And then you stop. So how big is the after? Cindy, how big is this angle?
420.
420. How did you get 420?
360 plus 60.
Yeah, okay. So it starts with 60-degree and then add a full circle, right? Then we call that coterminal. So this 420-degree and the 60-degree, these two numbers, two angles, they are coterminal to each other. So same thing, it could be negative, right? If you turn the other way, then you could also have negative coterminal angle. So as long as they stop at the same place, okay, then they are called coterminal angle. So now if we look at the definition, okay, you have a formula here. Given two angles, A and B, right? If both angle they share the same terminal arm, okay, then the angles are coterminal to each other. So for example, the 420 that we have, right? 420 is the A, is 60-degree. You add it with one turn, right? N is the number of turns. Okay, so if you want to turn more, right, you could, right? Then you get another coterminal. So there are infinite number of coterminal angles. Now, if the angle they give you, if it's in radian, then you will need to use 2 pi, right? Remember, a full circle is 2 pi. Half a circle is pi, right? So each time you turn the number of full turns. So over here, I would like you to add it in. The n represents what? What's the meaning of n here? Tiana, what's the n?
Number of turns.
Yep, very good. Number of turns. Number of turns. Okay, and number of turns can be positive, can be negative, right? If it's negative, then it goes the clockwise way, right? Okay, so over here you will have question like this in your homework. Okay, so I would like you to start this one. Okay, make sure you study this one before you begin. Okay, so here we would like to find one positive and one negative coterminal angle closest to 0 degree. Meaning, right, because like coterminal, you can keep on adding 360, right? You add another 360, you get another coterminal. But we don't want, like, otherwise everyone will give different answer, right? Then you cannot match the answer key, right? So for homework, when you are finding, when they ask you to find coterminal angle, you find the one that is closest to 0. Okay, so for example, like 215. If I want to get, of course, other than the 215, right? So the positive one, positive, you can start with 215, right? If I subtract 360, then it become negative. So if I want to get positive, you add 360-degree, right? Then that will make it another coterminal angle. So this number will be what? How big is this one? Trudy? Trudy, are you there?
Sorry, my mic couldn't pick it up for a second.
Yep. How big is it?
It's 575 degrees.
Yep. 175 degree, right? So this will be the coterminal angle, right? So you won't use 215. You have to find another one, okay? That is close to 0. If you add another 360, it's still coterminal, but it's not the one that's closest to 0. The answer key that I have for the homework is the one that's closest to it, okay? So make sure you get the one that's not too big, right? Now the next one, I want to get negative. So negative, I need to do subtraction, right? So 215 degree will subtract 360 degree, right? I can keep on subtracting, but I just need to subtract enough so I can get the first negative. So what's 215 subtract 360? William?
Negative 145.
Yep, negative 145 degree. Okay, so what will be the two answers? Okay, one for positive coterminal, one for negative coterminal, right? So please try question B and C. Okay, you may use calculator to do the add and subtract. Okay, one positive, one negative. Okay, so if you are using the closest to 0, then everybody should get the same answer. Okay, so once you get the answer for both, please raise your hand. Anyone has questions? Okay, let's get an answer for B. Okay, Ray, what do you have for positive coterminal for 900?
I got 180.
180. What did you do to get 180?
I just subtracted 360
How many times?
a lot.
Really? Can you
Like-
count how many times we need?
Twice.
Twice, okay? That's not a lot. 2 circles, right? So 2 times 360. So minus 720. Yeah, that's 180, okay? So for even though it says positive, it doesn't mean that you add 360, right? You want the one that's the closest to 0, okay? Otherwise, I cannot mark your homework. Everybody will be giving me different answers, okay? Now for the negative. Okay, Donna, what's your answer for negative? Donna, are you there? Donna, oh, she's got cut off. Okay, how about Samantha? What do you have for negative?
Negative 180.
Negative 180, and how did you get that? What's the step that you did? Are you there?
Subtract 363 times.
3 times. Okay, very good. So 900 subtract 3 times 360. Okay. Yeah. So next one. Yeah, that's very good. Okay, it's correct. So close to 0, right? All right. So let's go to last one. This one goes in thousands, right? So Donna, you're back. Okay. What's your answer for the positive? Is your computer working okay? Can hear you, Donna. Or your mic is not working? Okay, how about Eric?
I got 140 degrees.
140 degree. And what did you do?
And negative 220 or negative 2020 plus 6 times 360.
Okay, so it needs to turn 6 circles. Okay. Anyone has something different here? Are we all good? Okay, last one. Cindy, can you help us? What's your negative coterminal?
Negative 220.
Negative 220. And what did you do?
I just kept adding 360 till it got to the smallest.
Okay, and how many times did you need to add the 360?
I have no idea. Wait, let me check.
Yep, please check.
5.
5, yep, very good. Okay, so another way to think of it is you can think about since you got 140, right? So if I want to get a negative, then I just go subtract 360 again. So that will reduce 6 terms instead of into 5 terms, right? You reduce one more. Okay, so that's another way to, you can use what your positive answer to get the negative, because positive and negative, they should be close to each other, right? So if you look at these two, right, question B, you see this one has 2 terms for positive, 3 terms for the negative, right? So you see they're close to each other. Same with this one, right? This is 1 term and the other one is also 1 term, right? They are next to each other. Okay, next one is asking if they are coterminal to each other. So same thing, I'm gonna let you figure this out. And then if they are coterminal, I need you to tell me how many turns it takes, okay, to go from one to the other, okay? So these 3 questions, I'll let you try. So your answer, you can just answer yes, they are coterminal, right? Or no, right? If yes, please tell me how many turns you need. Okay, raise your hand if you finish question 3. Anyone has question about how to figure this out, you can ask me and I can give you a hint. Please raise your hand if you finished. Okay, William, what do you think? Question A?
No.
No? Okay, not coterminal.
Okay.
Siri, go away.
Okay, we have a new student called Siri here. Huh?
Yes.
Siri, can you answer B?
Wait.
Huh?
Siri, answer B.
I didn't get that. Could you try
Okay.
again?
Okay, no.
Siri, is question B a coterminal angle? Does that work? No, huh?
I probably don't think it'll work.
Okay, Trudy. I think Trudy is smarter than Siri.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Can you tell me how many turns then?
I think like 4.
4 turns.
I forgot to record it down. Yeah.
Okay. Let's check. Is it 4 turns? Divide by 360. Yeah, 4 turns. Okay, very good. Okay, 4 turns. Okay. Next one. How about C? Kelly?
Oh, I didn't get there yet.
Okay. Can you work on that right now and let me know, okay?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. How do you know? How many turns?
Is 1 term.
1 turn. How did you figure it out?
Because if you subtract 360 from 371, it's 11
Do we want to get 11?
or negative 11. Sorry.
What subtracts what? Which one subtract which one? Yeah, you have to pick a beginning angle. Which angle do you want to begin?
Negative 11.
Okay, so you want to begin with -11 and then you want to turn to 371, right?
Yeah.
So would you be adding or subtracting?
Adding.
Yeah, so we'll be turning counterclockwise. So how many turns do you want to turn?
Once.
Okay, so if I add a 360, would that turn it into 371?
No.
Yeah, so this one, it doesn't stop there. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could start with a different angle. Let's say if you start with 371 and you want to get to -11, what do you need to do? Add or subtract?
Subtract.
Yeah, so if I try to subtract 360 degree, what do you get?
11.
Yeah, so it's still not -11, right? Doesn't equal to -11, and then the first one doesn't give you 371. So no matter which direction you turn, right? it's always not matching. So this one should be what? Should be a no, right? Not coterminal. Okay, so that's how you can check. You can pick an angle to start, okay, and then you turn to the direction that you want to, right? If you want to get to positive, you add. You want to continue getting more negative, then you subtract. Okay, see if it lands on the other one. All right, so the next term is called the reference angle. Reference angle, we've learned that in grade 11. Okay, so for some of you, maybe you still remember. So do you remember what's reference angle? It's an angle between 0 to 90 degrees that is formed between what and what? Does anybody know? Reference angle is between which two things?
The x-axis and the terminal.
Very good. Okay, so let's write that down. X-axis and terminal arm. Okay, remember terminal arm is where the angle stops. Okay, and the x-axis, everybody knows, the horizontal one, right? So for example, right, let's draw a little picture here. Right, this one is the x-axis, right, the red one, and then terminal arm. If the angle angle always start from the right side, right? And then if the terminal arm stops in quadrant 1, then our reference angle will be this one, right? And then if the angle turns to the second quadrant, then the terminal angle will be over here. Okay, because it's between the terminal arm and the x-axis. Okay, and we don't care about the sign, positive or negative. It's always positive. It's talking about this little angle. Okay, the little angle at the center. But it has to be with the x-axis, so it's not up there. Okay, not with the y-axis. Okay, so now if the angle they stop in quadrant 3, then reference angle will be this one, right? And then similar last one, quadrant 4, reference angle will be here. Okay, so if we make triangle, you probably have seen this before, right? Looks like a butterfly, right? Or a bow tie. Okay, so reference angle has to be either one of the 4 places, right? So let's practice finding the reference angle first. So first one, right, 500 degree. So what you need to do is to draw the angle out first. Okay, so this one I would like you to try to draw it, okay? And I'll ask one of you to draw the picture on the screen, okay? To show us where, which quadrant the terminal arm stops in. Okay, so once you got the picture on your book, please raise your hand. So draw 500 degree. It will be making more than one turn, right? Draw the picture first, okay? Where is 500 degree stops in? Quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4. Which one? Okay, William, can you draw it out?
Okay. What color should I use?
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Okay, use blue then.
Ah, yes. Great drawing.
Okay.
Line somewhere here.
Yeah, very good. Okay, looks good. So that's 360, right? 360, and then we got to turn about 100 something, right? And then that will end up at 500. Okay, so we will stop in quadrant 2. So where is the reference angle? Cindy, can you draw this, show the reference angle on the screen? Yeah, very good. Okay, so the red one, the pink one is the reference angle. So how big is that angle? Kelly?
40 degrees.
Yeah, 40-degree. Very good. Okay, so we don't care about the direction anymore. Okay, so just the size of it. So I'm gonna clear the screen here. Okay, let me clear the drawing. Okay, so we'll be turning 360 and then 140 more, right? So the leftover here, this is the reference. So the symbol we use for reference is the theta r, okay? So theta r equals to 40 degree. Okay, let's move on to next one. We're gonna do the same thing here. So once you got a picture and the reference angle, please raise your hand. Remember, reference angle is between the terminal arm and x-axis. Okay, Trudy, can you help us draw this picture? Yeah, okay, very good. And Iray, can you show the reference angle? Okay, and how big is it?
78.
78. Okay, very good. Right, so theta r is 78 degree. Okay, so let me erase that again. Okay, so over here, 102, it just turns to this quadrant, 102. Reference angle is here. Okay, last one. We have a negative, right? So it doesn't matter if it's positive or negative, your reference angle is always gonna be positive. Okay, you just look at the size of it. You don't care about direction. But when you draw it, you have to turn in the correct direction. Okay, so once you get the reference, please raise your hand. Okay, Samantha, can you draw question C? Where is negative 990? Where is the terminal arm? You gotta draw the turning, okay? You have to show me how it turns. The circle thing. How many turns did it make? Samantha? How many turns did it make? Oh, okay, let's see. 1, I'm getting dizzy. Okay, 2. Okay, 2 and 3/4, right? Okay, yeah, that's very good. Okay, so reference angle. Where is the reference angle then? Eric, can you draw it out? What's that? Okay, okay, good. Yeah, it can be either side, right? So it could be the left side, could be the right side, because terminal arm is right in the middle. Okay, very good. So that obviously it will be 90 degree for reference. Okay, so let's clear that. So negative 990, so 1, right? And then 2, and then 3/4 of it, right? So your terminal arm is right here. So you can use either side to be reference, right? You can say this side is the reference, right? Or the other side is reference, doesn't matter. So here is 90 degree. Okay, now the last thing we're gonna cover is called the principal angle, right? Principal angle is the first positive angle in standard position. So since I mentioned about positive angle, what direction do we turn? Cindy, what direction is positive?
Um, counterclockwise.
Yes, very good. Okay, so we need to turn counterclockwise and then until it hits the terminal arm, right? The first time that it hits it, that's called the principal angle. So they all related to the reference angle. So reference angle is to help you find principal angle, right? If you don't know the reference angle, it's difficult to find principal. So for example, the first one, I'm gonna use the green, okay? Green to show the principal angle. So I need to turn counterclockwise, right? So I turn, and then until it hits, then this one is called the principal angle. So I'm gonna write theta with a little p, okay? For principal angle. So how big is that? Kelly?
140 degrees.
That's 140, right? So you can see that it's got to do with the 40 degree, right? They added up to 180. It'll become a straight line. Okay, so next one, let's go to B. So what's the principal angle for this one? Irae?
102.
Yep, this one will be 102. Okay, so 102. Oops. Okay, 102 degree. Okay, so it will be the same as the question, right? That's possible, right? Sometimes the answer is the question. Okay, next one. What's the principal angle? Who should I ask? William, what's your answer?
90.
Yeah, okay, so this one is 90. Okay, I think we will stop here, okay, because we won't have time to cover the next page, okay? So for the remaining time, actually, I want to go over the 2 questions that we did in last week, okay? So we're gonna go back to transformation, right? Remember I asked you to do 2 questions in the notes, right? But then some of you didn't get it right, okay? So we're gonna go over these 2 questions. Okay, so please turn to page 24, question 8. Okay, so over here, is everybody on the page now? Okay, so to do this question, we got to start with the story form, right? We need to follow the sentence and then write out the story form. Right, and once you have the story form, we will replace, right? We need to, okay, we'll follow the same process, right? We need to replace, and then after that, you will simplify, right? We're following the same procedure. So we start with y equal x minus 2 cubed minus 5. Okay, I don't remember which one of you didn't get it right. Okay, let's see. Let me just ask someone. Okay, Trudy, can you tell me what's the story form for this one? Based on the sentence here.
It's hold on. Y minus 3.
Y minus 3, yeah. No, it's moving down.
Moving down. Y plus 3.
Yeah, downward 3, yeah, and then?
Equals
Mhm.
F bracket x plus 5 minus 1.
X minus 5, and then?
Divided by negative 1.
Yeah, okay, very good. Right, so that's reflection over y-axis, and that's, we want to move left. Move left should be what?
I said plus.
Oh, you said plus, sorry? Okay, so x plus 5 over negative 1. Okay, so that's the story form. Now all we need to do is replace the y part with the y, right? Remember? And then replace the green with the x. Okay, and then we simplify afterwards. Okay, so that will give you y plus 3 equals, and then the green part you can write it as negative x minus 5, right? Because over negative 1 is how you divide by negative for both, minus 2, right? Cube minus 5. So here's the red, right? And then here's the green. Okay, and then we need to simplify this. So if you have this part blank, okay, please write this out. And once you got the answer, after simplifying means you need to leave your answer as y equals. Okay, so please raise your hand if you have a final answer. Okay, Tiana, what's your final answer?
Is it y equals to negative x minus 7 cube minus 8?
Yeah, very good. Okay, you just collect all the like terms in the brackets, move the 3 over, and then combine as well. Okay, so this final graph, right? The one in the box will have the transformation. Okay, will be after transformation of the original. Okay, question D. This one, okay. As I read this one, I remember William. William, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because when I marked your homework, I remember you keep writing reflect over y equal x. You only have this one when what happens?
When it's inverse.
Yeah, when there's an inverse. An inverse is not looking at negative signs, right? You got to see either you see the f of -1, f inverse, right? Little -1, or you see the x and y swap. Okay, so
Oh,
yeah, so please look at your homework, right? Because I think you thought the negative with x is inverse. It's not.
okay.
Okay, so if you have negative with x, it's reflect over y-axis. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So over here we have the inverse, right? And then we got horizontally expanded. Okay, so let's write down the story. So if you have it blank, okay, please write out the story by yourself right now. And then we can uncheck. So this one has an inverse, right? I'll do that. Okay, so if you have the story form, please raise your hand. Okay, Cindy, what's your story form?
Y equals plus minus root x.
This one has this. There's no square or stuff. Okay, we're writing in general, something with f, right? No root, right? We're not solving anything. We're just writing the story. Original is y equal f of x, right, Cindy?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go over step by step. So if there's an inverse, how would this thing change?
X. Wait, it would be x equals y squared minus 1.
Now, don't worry about this function right now, okay? We are not there yet. We got to get the story form first. Don't look at x squared minus 1, okay? Because that thing can change for any question, right? Right now, we just want to write out the general story that covers these sentences. Okay? Do you get what I mean?
Did
Not
I do homework right?
like if there's no story at all, right? If there's no change, nothing happened, it will be y equal f of x. Do you see it on screen here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go over the first thing that happened. If there's an inverse,
Oh, x equals f of y.
yeah. So this is what you're supposed to write first, right? And after that, what happened?
And then you
What's the
solve
next part of
y.
the story? Hmm? What's the next sentence on the story?
Horizontally expand by 2
Okay, so where should we put the 2?
under x.
So how do I write it? Can you tell me?
X over 2
Equal?
f of y.
Yeah, so this story so far has horizontal expand by 2. And then what else? There's
And
more.
then you add 3
That's where.
to y.
Okay, so it'll be x over 2 equals,
F of y plus 3.
yeah. Okay, so that will be the story form. Okay, f of y plus 3. Okay, so you use that to replace the original one. Okay, the original they give you is y equal x squared minus 1. Okay, so because this one has an inverse, so used to be y, it will become x. Used to be x will become the y. So your x here is going to replace the y part. Right? Because normally is y replace the y, x replace the x, right? But because of inverse, your x will replace the y, and your y will replace the x. That's why it's inverse, right? X and y swap. So this part, y plus 3 will replace this part, the x. Do you understand now, Cindy?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so what's the result after you replace? Can you tell me? Nice music, but can you tell me what's the result?
That's my mom, sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
You know what to do?
you do x over 2 equals f of y plus 3 squared minus 1.
No F. You gotta just,
Y plus 3 squared minus 1.
yes. Okay.
Yeah.
The F is just for any function. Okay. So you don't sub in the F. And then finally, we need to simplify, right? So simplifying, we need to isolate what, Trudy?
Isolate y.
Here we'll isolate the X because we are doing
Okay.
so to isolate the X, what do we do then, Trudy?
You multiply it by 2.
Yep. So what's the final answer, Kelly? Kelly, are you there?
Oh, sorry. X equals 2 bracket y plus 3 squared minus 1.
-1. Why is it -1?
Oh, sorry, minus 2.
Why is
Because
it -2?
you have to when you multiply the 2,
Yeah,
you have to multiply with all of them.
that's right. Okay, so the whole thing needs to times it by 2, right? So every term inside, right, you need to distribute, right? So this will be the final answer, okay? If you want to write the inverse, okay, that's how it goes. Okay, so that makes up the we're right on time. Okay, so later I will be giving you a practice test, which is from one of my other student. He got it from his school teacher. Okay, so it has a mix of multiple choice and also some written ones. Okay, so you just treat it like a test. You can study for your. It's you can time yourself, right? About 1 hour, and then do it without looking at the notes, and then that way you can see how well you did. Okay, and then after that, I will give you some because today's lesson is pretty easy. It's just changing degree, radian, right? And also some reference angle. Okay, so those one shouldn't take that much time. So spend most of your time study for transformation, and then do the test. Okay, if you have more questions about today's lesson, you can stay after. Otherwise, I'll see you next week. Okay? Yeah?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, bye-bye. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye, Jason.
Bye.